Five Nights at Freddy's 2023 movie trailer poster release date. After first being announced in 2015, the movie, Five Nights at Freddy's, finally pulls back the curtain. Universal has released the first trailer for Blumhouse's horror film, giving viewers their first look at how the terrifying animatronics from the popular survival horror video game will come to life. Five Nights at Freddy's is based on the video game franchise created by Scott Cawthon, which released its first entry in 2014 and quickly rose to great popularity. Throughout the different games, players are tasked with surviving an attack by hostile animatronic characters inside the haunted Freddy Fazbear's Pizza restaurant, using security cameras, lights, and doors to survey the area. The new trailer reveals how those gameplay mechanics have been incorporated into the adaptation, with a movie starring Josh Hutcherson as a hapless security guard. Cawthon first announced the film adaptation in 2015 to great enthusiasm from fans. But from there, it was a rocky road. Warner Brothers acquired the rights, but after 2 years of silence, Cawthon announced that the project was back to square one. After losing a series of directors, Jason Blum announced that he would adapt the project through his production company Blumhouse in 2017. Earlier this year, Universal announced that Five Nights at Freddy's would debut on the Peacock streaming service the same day as its theatrical release, replicating the day-and-date release strategy of other high-profile Blumhouse productions such as Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Directed by Emma Tammi, Five Nights at Freddy's also stars Elizabeth Lail, Piper Rubio, Kat Connor Sterling, Mary Stuart Masterson and Matthew Lillard, as well as animatronics art and technology from Jim Henson's Creature Shop. Look for Disney awash in a sea of green thanks to this gloriously animated mix of classic fairy tale elements and broad humor. Borrowing liberally from the studio's classics, The Little Mermaid may represent its best animated film since 1967's The Jungle Book, and, based on recent minor film returns, seems destined to swim into the setting records. Box office for the genre in its wake. This should come as no surprise to fans of The Great Mouse Detective, the exceptionally engaging 1986 animated film from writer-director collaborators John Musker and Ron Clements that helped save the art form at the studio after it nearly fell apart. Plunged into The Black Cauldron. Director Rob Marshall. Writers David McGee, Rob Marshall, John DeLuca. Stars Halle Bailey, Jonah Hauer-King, Melissa McCarthy. Once again, Clements and Musker have anchored the film with a wonderfully campy villain, Ursula the Sea Witch, who provides Mina. A wave of controversy followed the release of the Queen Cleopatra trailer. Many Egyptians took to the internet to speak out against the Netflix documentary series. Some even called for a ban. The trailer gave rise to growing concerns about misrepresentation and a general distortion of Egyptian history when viewed through our modern understanding of race. The trailer strategically used one of the most controversial statements, Cleopatra was black, that is pretty much out of context. Kudos to Netflix for creating virality and hype around Queen Cleopatra, but in all honesty, the documentary is lacking. The focus of the documentary is not just Cleopatra's career, it is entirely about her life as the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Unlike the trailer, which seemed to make a strong claim about her race, the docu-series is pretty speculative. Since the identities of Cleopatra's mother and grandmother are unknown, it's not too far-fetched to assume. The Flash has been one of DC Comics' most beloved superheroes since his first appearance in 1956. Since then, the character has transcended the comic book pages to become a cultural icon, with multiple television shows and movies starring Scarlet Speedster. The latest addition to this list is the movie, The Flash, which is set to be released on June 16, 2023. Directed by Andy Muschietti, this movie promises to be a game-changer for the DC Extended Universe DCEU. We'll take a deep dive into what fans can expect from the movie and what it means for the future of the franchise. First of all, it's important to note that The Flash movie is not a traditional origin story. The character of Barry Allen, played by Ezra Miller, has already been featured in previous DCEU movies like Justice League and Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. As such, the movie won't focus on how Barry becomes the Flash, but on a specific story from the comics. In